to Fox Bet, the Buccaneers now have the third highest Super Bowl odds at plus 800. Giants head coach Joe Judge has taken notice of the Bucs and their new leader, calling Tom Brady the fiercest competitor of all time. And that is a strong statement. Shannon, do you agree?
No. So I'm just supposed to believe that he's more competitive than John Elway or Ray Lewis, two guys that I played with. I think the thing is people just love to label people that have won and won a lot as competitive. Just because Tom Brady has won 6 Super Bowls, that doesn't mean he wanted it more than the guys that lost. Skip, a lot of things have to go well outside of Tom playing well. And when you play a team sport, I can see now individual sports, Skip, okay, you want to say boxing and Floyd Mayweather or y'all, I get it. Mixed martial arts, I get it. But when you play in a team sport, no. So by this, since Tom Brady won 6, Bill Russell is the most competitive guy ever because he has 11 championships. Since we want to do it because he won, no, I do not believe Tom is, and there's no way to definitively quantify it, but just by saying because he won and he gets fired up, there's a split personality. But to make a long story short, sorry for the filibuster, no, I do not.
Shannon Sharp, I have been trying to explain this to you for 4 long years on this show. When it comes to cold-blooded clutchness, the closest thing we've ever seen to Michael Jeffrey Jordan is Thomas Brady.
So he's more competitive than Jordan?
I don't even have time to get
Is he more competitive than Jordan, yes or no?
I just said the closest thing.
No, but Joe Judge said he's the fiercest competitor of all time.
As fierce is what he said, as fierce.
No.
Yeah.
Well, no, I disagree.
Here's what keeps misleading you. Tom Brady is a wolf in sheep's clothing because off the field he doesn't look the part or act the part of this cutthroat killer on the football field who turns into Psycho Tom. You just can't see past all the nerdy, cliched, geeky, lame social media posts from Tom Brady, and you say, what is he doing? That's not the way a franchise quarterback should act. But you can't see through your hatred of Brady to the fourth quarter performances. He's only won 6 Super Bowls with 6 game-winning drives in the fourth quarter overtime. That's impossibly great. That is actually beyond Jordan because he's had more opportunities to be clutch than Jordan did.
So he wanted it more than the guys that he beat. They didn't want it. Tom just wanted it more. So that's the way we define it?
No, he just did it.
Okay,
At the highest level in the biggest game in your sport.
Yes.
He took the game over 6 times in the fourth quarter. Actually, 7 times, 8 times, because he took one over against Eli and should have closed that deal, and Belichick's defense said, here, we'll give it back to you, Eli.
Kind of like Pete Carroll decided to say, here, Russ, give it back to Tom Brady like that.
I thought that was the right call. You put in the... You love Russell Wilson, right?
Stop it.
Well, do you not love him?
So, no, hold on.
Good pass.
So let me ask you a question. So the Russell Wilson we see today, that was the same Russell Wilson back then?
I think it was.
Stop, Skip.
Pete Carroll was saying that. That's what he said. I want the ball in his hands.
Yep. You and I both know that was a beast mode-led Legion of Boom team.
All I know is that in the fourth quarter of that game against the Legion of Boom, Tom Brady threw for 124 yards and 2 touchdowns and brought them back from 24 to 14 down against a legendary defense.
And he did that.
Legendary.
And that was because he was more competitive than the defense.
Well, he's the most competitive quarterback I've ever seen, and that's no disrespect to your guy, John Elway, or name's Joe Montana.
But that's not
he's just done it more than those guys have on the biggest stage.
Okay, Skip, to say he's competitive, but there's no way to really quantify this because he's won. So if we're going to just base it on winning, shouldn't Bill Russell be number 1?
Look at what he did in AFC championship games at Kansas City in overtime against my homeboy. He converts 3 straight 3rd and 10s to drive them in for the game-winning score. How about against Saxonville?
So let me ask you a question.
With 20 stitches in the palm of his throwing hand, he throws for 138 in the fourth quarter and brings them from 20 to 10 down to get them to another Super Bowl.
So I guess he wasn't competitive last year against Tennessee.
How can you argue against what you see? What do you see from it?
I just want to know. So was he competitive Was he the most fiercest competitor last year against the Titans at home? A simple yes or simple no.
No, there's no simple answer to that, because yesterday you gave in to him and gave it up, and you said, you know what? I was so wrong about Tom Brady because he didn't have any receivers.
Okay, but I'm saying, was he not competitive? Was he not fierce competitive then?
I told you what he did at the end of the year last year with nothing left in the cupboard. He had them in position to win the 2 seed.
When Joe Flacco went to New England and beat him twice, was he not a fierce competitor then?
No, I mean, he loses something. He's mortal.
Okay.
He's human.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
He's been in 9 Super Bowls, and in another one that he lost, all he did was throw for an all-time playoff record, 505. And Belichick's defense gave up 41 to a guy you have no respect for, Nick Foles.
But here's the thing.
A journeyman.
But you see, when he loses, it's everybody. So we don't mention nothing about the fierce competitor when he loses. Only when he wins.
Joe Judge knows because he saw it up close and personal.
Joe Judge.
Just leave it at that.
No Judge Judy.
Leave it. No comment there. We're going to let it play out. We'll let the game play out. Guys, question, has LeBron turned LA into the city of champions?
Sure. It was a really politically correct line. Politically correct. Oh, Skip, I see your face looking over there. I like what he said. I like what he said because it was politically correct. I see you over there, Skip. But the answer to that is no, you're not in first place because you just lost to the Washington football team. You're not in first place at all. That team's off this week, which that team will come back next week to play the bottom New York Giants. So, I mean, yeah, it's a great company line if we win this week, but I don't even see – this team don't even show no fight. They don't compete. They look like they've simply given up. And it's so many weeks left in the season. And, you know, week after week is – first it was Zeke when I have it on my back. I got to do better. This is my loss. And it's like I know Ezekiel Elliott, like, really, really well. And when Zeke did best, you know, he just came out and he talked to his play. All of this talking in the media every week, it's a different guy saying we just need to win. The energy is baloney. It's terrible. Like, you just get tired of hearing it. And you're just a bad football team. There shouldn't be a lot of talking coming out of a 2-5 or is it 2-6, whichever one they are. Shouldn't be too much talk coming out of that locker room. They should have got together as a team. You know, the leaders on that team, the guys on that team who are supposed to be leaders, and just get better every day. Just try and look better every week. But this team has progressively looked worse and worse. And now there's no Dak Prescott to have these meaningless stat games. You know, I'm not taking nothing away from Dak, but there's no Dak to have the excitement. It's just like, at this point, you're getting tired of even seeing this team on TV.
Yeah, I've been tired. But the thing is, the problem that I have with Zeke should have never said, you know, I'm going to step up and be a leader, because if you're going to be a leader, you don't need to tell us you're going to be a leader. You just go out there and play, and then that'll speak to your leadership and go out there and do things. And I agree with you, O. That was the politically correct thing to say. But you know what, guys? Look, I'm not even worried about the call. We're just going to go play our best football, and at the end of the game, we'll see and at the end of the year, we'll see where we are. But we just need to win a game. They look awful. They're awful. And the offensive line, Skip, even if you get Zach Martin back, you still got two bad tackles. Mm-hmm. And the one thing the Eagles can do is that they can get after your quarterback.
Yeah. By the way, Looney might be back at center too, but still two bad tackles.
They do two bad tackles. Right. And so, go ahead, O.
But I'm sorry to cut you off. But what do you think that if you couldn't block the Washington football team, what do you think Fletcher Cox thinking right now?
Hey, but the thing is, Washington built their team. If you look at they front 5, 6, they're all first rounders. You look at Kerrigan, you look at Chase Young, you look at the two Payne, you look at Allen, you look at Sweat. All those guys are first round draft picks. Okay, you go to the Eagles, you look at Brandon Graham and Curry, you look at Barnett, you look at Fletcher Cox. They're built to go get your quarterback. And you know Jim Schwartz put you in the wide 9, he say, go get him.
Will.
Absolutely.
Go get him. And that's where that
put you in a wide 9. He's going to put you in these one-on-one situations.
Yes.
He's going to put these tackles on islands. And, you know, if this team does not, like, have a gut check and say we're going to compete and not embarrass ourselves, Philadelphia will definitely try and embarrass them. I've been on the other side. There's not an ounce of love there. And ain't an ounce of love in Dallas for Philadelphia. And they would definitely try to embarrass you. And Philly is one of those teams who they believe. I give it to them that. They believe. They believe even when they shouldn't believe, and they know that maybe it's not what they think, but they do definitely believe. And they're looking at it here saying, we've been through all of these injuries. Now Dallas has no quarterback. They're terrible on defense. This is our opportunity.
And the thing is, before you go, Skip, the one thing you can do against that wide 9, you can run. If you can't run the football against that wide 9 that Jim Schwartz play, you can't beat that team, because they're going to pin you. They're going to put you a yard outside of that tackle, and they coming. As simple as that, Dallas. Zeke, this better be your game. You better run it.
How about if I have a rookie 7th-round draft pick at quarterback? How about that?
You in a heap of trouble, Skip.
Ben DiNucci.
Ben DiNucci. Thank Madison.
There's also not an ounce of mercy in the Philadelphia Eagles. This is going to get ugly quickly. The Cowboys are now a 9.5-point underdog. Think about that. 9.5-point underdog at Philly, and I don't think it's nearly enough. I think it's going to be way more than that. I already told you, this could be like 40-3.
They're going to bow up. They'll bow up. The Cowboys will bow up. They'll bow up.
I don't remember when Philadelphia beat anybody by 10 points. It's been a long time.
Well, just watch, because my team has fallen hopelessly behind for 6 straight games. Even to the New York Football Giants at Jerry World, my team was down 17-3 in the second quarter, early in the second quarter. Is that